Oh, hello everybody. Now, I'm just going to outline a couple of ideas, and some of you, as rail enthusiasts, might have, come up with them before. But there are some things that I believe are quite new and different, and they do allow you to take advantage of what remains of the Queensland rail services, and that's dwindling and is under threat indeed in some areas, including the Inlander and Westlander, maybe past tense in the coming months or next year or so. We don't know. But I'll just lead off by saying today's the 6th of May in 2016. Just a brief outline without giving all the times you're in, but just simply the concepts. You can depart Brisbane on Saturdays on the Spirit of the Outback train with a sleeping car, and it includes dining and lounge cars. It's quite a good train. I'd regard it as in the top 3 or 4 trains in the whole of Australia. And you get into Longreach Sunday afternoon, and you take a Greyhound from Longreach on Monday morning, mid-morning, and you get to Mount Isa Monday afternoon. Now on Tuesdays there's a flight out of Mount Isa at 9:15 in the morning, and that goes across to Cairns, but it also stops in Normanton, which is good because you can go to Normanton, stay overnight, and get the Golflander train on the Wednesday down to Croydon and stay overnight again, and on Thursday go to Forsyth by bus, and Friday take the Savannah Lander down to Mount Surprise, and then on Saturday you go to Cairns. Now after that you can come back as quickly as it were as Sunday morning. You can leave on the Spirit of Queensland train in a rail bed, which I know is not adequate in the sense of it doesn't equal a sleeping car, but it's a good place to lay down. In other words, better than sitting up all night, which you wouldn't do. My tip would be to ask for any seat from 1 to 10 in car C. Failing that, of course, car B, 1 to 10. The reason is, in particular in car C, if you've got higher numbers, you get closer to the door to car B and you get the whooshing sound like all night, the door opening and shutting. You can also order from the club car menu instead of the fairly restrictive menu in the lay flat seat cars. I call them rolling backpackers, but anyway, they are quite good, and they've got their at seat entertainment and earphones. You can watch movies, or you can watch listen to record albums, and do a number of things, which I would recommend, of course, at night time rather than during the day. You'd be maybe listening to some music, but you'd look at the scenery. It's quite a good scenic trip from Cairns, and it takes you back to Brisbane, gets there Tuesday morning. It's about a 24-hour trip. That's the first recommended trip, and that's very much a grand tour, let's describe that. The other idea involves taking the tilt train from Brisbane to Rockhampton on a Tuesday, and then it does run 3 days a week, but I'm recommending, for example, just go up on a Tuesday. Then there is a flight, they call it the Milk Run, which is actually a Dash 8 aircraft from QantasLink, goes out of Rockhampton at 1:25 p.m. and it goes to Mackay, then it goes to Townsville, and it lands in Cairns around 4:50 p.m. Then, of course, you can have a night or two in Cairns, and you can come home on the Spirit of Queensland rail bed service, as I said. Now, this is of particular value and interest to people who have a seniors card, because they can get that at a much lower fare than the regular fare, which is somewhat outrageous. Also, of course, the pensioners can trade in 2 of their passes and get first class, and they will pay a fare of $200 for the bed and for the meals. Now, that's not what you call extremely cheap, but it's not bad value, and I would use it. And that goes for the trip out to Longreach. If you use 4 passes, you have 2 out Brisbane to Longreach, and even out as far as Winton if you want to, and 2 from Cairns back to Brisbane. Now, another trip I would outline is somewhat shorter, and it's a bit more flexible, but it also is only on a Tuesday that you could go on the rebuilt tilt train, which has not entered service yet, but whenever it does, and it could be delayed till even into early next year, you would take that from Brisbane. You could go to Rockhampton, or you could go shorter. I would recommend, in fact, Bundaberg. You stay overnight in Bundaberg, and next day you get the Tiltlander train, which is a loco hauled train which has a dining car on it, and it's somewhat slower, of course, a couple of hours slower than the Tilt. But it's a stainless steel train, and it's subject to being sold off by our friendly Labor Palaszczuk government in Queensland. There hasn't been anything confirmed on that, but don't be surprised, guys, if these stainless steel trains all disappear and the intercity ICE trains, as they call them, electric model units, are to be sold, or as they so oddly classified, disposed of. So it's goodbye to those trains for you guys that are interested in trains. So anyway, I thought I'd leave these ideas with you, and it's only just an effort to help you gain the best possible advantage of our rather limited rail service. So thank you for viewing.